Good morning, fifth graders. We are going to start a new lesson today on estimating of adding and subtracting fractions. So for my first question for you, I have 12/13 plus 7/8. And I don't want to find an actual answer. I just want to know, is the sum of these two fractions closer to 1, to 2, to 19, or 21? And I can use a basic understanding of fractions to give a rough estimate as to what these are going to add up to. I know 12/13 is going to be pretty close to a whole because 12 is almost 13. So this is going to be close to 1. I know that 7/8 is fairly close to 1 whole as well. So I know that that is going to be pretty close to 1. So if I were to estimate, I would say 1 plus 1, well, that's closest to 2. So our objective for today is to use our understanding of order and equivalence to make sense of fraction addition and subtraction so that you can add and subtract fractions. So my first question for you is true or false? 1/3 plus 8/9 equals 9/12. Well, again, if I know that 8/9 is pretty close to a whole, I can even check this by drawing a picture. First, I'll split it into thirds and make an even number here. If I have 9 total pieces and I color in 8 of them, that's pretty close to a whole. 1/3 is between a half and 0. I know that my answer is going to be more than 1. And if I look at my answer here, 9 out of 12 is less than 1, so this number sentence has to be false. Miss Letourneau has 1 3/4 pounds of candy hearts. She gave her sister about 1 1/6 of a pound. About how many pounds did she have left? We are going to estimate because it tells us about how many, so we don't need to find an exact answer. That means we can estimate. To do that, we're going to draw our two fractions. So I have 3/4. I cut my first circle into 4 equal-sized pieces, and I color in 3 of them. I draw my second circle. I'm going to cut it into 6 equal-sized pieces, and I'm going to color in 1 of them. I can tell that this piece is slightly smaller than this piece. So if I take away 1/6 from 1/4, I'm going to have a little bit extra, which means I'm going to have more than 1/2, but just slightly more than 1/2. I can also use fraction circles to solve this problem. So if I look at my first fraction, I see 3/4, and my second fraction is showing me 1/6. So 1/4 is a blue, and my first picture, I have 3 of them. My second picture, I can tell that my 1 pink doesn't even cover 1 of those blue pieces. So if I am going to take away 1 pink, that means I'm going to have just over 2 blue pieces left, which means that I'm going to have just over 1/2 left of my fraction. I can also look at a number line to estimate fractions. This is what your practice page will look like. If you have 5/6 plus 11/12, you're going to estimate the answer and put an X in the interval where you think the answer would go. So 5/6, I know that's pretty close to 1. And I know 11/12 is pretty close to 1. So 1 plus 1 would give me 2. I know that they're not exactly 1, they're just a little bit less than 1, so my answer has to be somewhere between 1 and 1/2 and 2. It's not quite a whole, but it's also bigger than half. I can do the same thing for subtraction. If I have 1 9/10, take away 3/4, well, now I can see I'm pretty close to 2, and 3/4 is bigger than a half, but not quite a whole, so I can take away, we can round it to a half. Well, 2 take away a half is going to be 1 1/2. But I know it's 3/4 is bigger than 1/2, so my answer is going to be between 1 1/2 and 2.